Here's my big question. And my boy Ron the Show Ugley, who I do daily radio with down here, he hit me with this Monday. And I was like, man, get the hell out of here. You done lost your mind. But I went back and rewatched the Ohio State-Michigan game one more time. And I like what I saw from JJ a little bit more than I did the first time. And I got to thinking about this. The question I got about the SEC championship is, how impressive does Georgia have to be to keep the number one spot? If Michigan beats Ohio State and then turns around and just skull drags Purdue in a Big Ten championship, can Michigan overtake Georgia for the number one ranked team in America?
I don't think so, man. I mean, I think when you look at Georgia's resume throughout this year, and again, I hate doing that, but I think that's really the only thing that you can use in this type of argument here. That's the only historical data you can leverage in this conversation. They beat the college football playoff ranked number one team in the country when they were the number two ranked team in the country in Tennessee. That win alone, I think, is massive. I know you're talking about a 2-3 matchup with Michigan. But I mean, Georgia to me they've survived. They've done it in a good fashion. Yeah, they got a couple wrestling matches, but they pulled away. I don't think if Georgia wins by 7 points or more, I don't even think it's a conversation. Now, if you're talking like a tussle, maybe you could throw it out there if it's a 1-2 point game. But I think if Georgia does what they're supposed to do, which I think is going to win more than a touchdown, I don't even think it comes up, or it should.
I tell you, I said the same thing on Monday, and my partner threw out his pushback. And I mean, you look at Michigan beating Ohio State. You look at where Penn State's ranked right now.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at kind of how the SEC the SEC, especially the East, with Florida and Kentucky falling off, that hurts. Georgia's resume, that what I think is typically builds an SEC resume, that middle of the pack. That middle of the pack, those wins are typically better than everybody else's. And this year, that just ain't the case with those teams falling off. And so it is closer than you think. I agree with you. I think it's Georgia. I don't know that we see it even be a discussion point. But if Georgia plays LSU, a 3-loss football team, tighter than they should, and Michigan and J.J. McCarthy look impressive and blow the doors off of Purdue, that's going to end up being a big tell of who is the number one seed and who's the number one seed in America come college football playoff time. We'll see.